Let's look at this code for instance. We have this, we first define number entries, 1, which we will use as a counter. And then we check whether it is less than or equal to 3. And then we just print still working. And then we increment it by 1. What will be the output of this code? But note that there is an indentation is different. What will be the output for this? Yes, it is an infinite loop. It will not exit from the while loop at all. Why is that? Because this number of entries is not within the while loop. We are not updating the number of entries. Let's run it actually in our code. So let's run it, write that code also. So number of entries is 1. Then while number of entries is less than or equal to 3, we'll say print, and then still printing, I guess was it. And then we will just increment number of entries by 1. So I will use this short operator. That's it. Normally, this is the correct part of it. If this runs, it will just print 3 times. So I will just run it. It just prints three times. But when I just make a error in the indentation, okay? Now what will happen is when I run this, the program is not ending. It keeps printing the same message again and again. Why is that? Well, what is happening is basically we set it to 1. Then, okay, we check it. Is it less than 3? Yes. Then print, still printing. Then check it again. Is it less than 3? Yes. Then print again. Is it less than 3? Yes. Then print again. So we are never updating this number of entries because this update statement is not within the while block. It is once after the while block. That's why we are not able to run it. That's why our code now becomes an infinite loop. So this part is important. We just forget some spaces and the output changed dramatically. So I need to stop this code. So I'll just hit here because otherwise it will run until my computer dies. It looks like my computer is frozen. Yeah. Wow. That's why we don't like infinite loops. Anyway, let's continue. That yeah, I hope it will be stop at some point. All right. Now we will see how we can use these while loops in also some other scenarios, which is basically doing some mathematical formula. We can also use it. And we want to calculate a running total. What is this? So let's say that we want to do this mathematical formula. What does this mean? Take the summation of all numbers from 0 to 10. So basically we want to find the result of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6, 5 plus 6 plus 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So we want to do this. How can I do it? By writing a Python code. So this is our main challenge. For these cases, now there is a formula actually for this that I'll talk about. But let's say we don't know the formula for this calculation. How can I write a code that will do this formalization? This is actually important because, like, if you are coming from other disciplines of engineering, maybe you have a very complex formula. Then you can also write that as a Python code and then find the result and so on. So we actually do it in many cases, like we have some mathematical formula and then to find its result, we can write a code to find it. So we'll see an basic example of it. Let's, here is the example, but I would like to write it on our Python, but of course my Python allows me. Okay, now I'm good. So let's try to write it together, okay? For these actions, actually what we want to do, we need an algorithm to do it. But for that one, you can basically say, ask to yourself that, okay, how can I do it? Like the question is basically, I would like to calculate this 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 and plus 10. So this is what I would like to do. We want to find the answer of this. How do I do it in my head? Like 1 plus 2, okay, it's 3. Then 3 plus 3, it's 6. Okay, then 6 plus 4, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. 15 plus 6, 21. So this is how I do it, right? Like this is one of the ways to do it. So actually I will just implement how I think in my computer. I will implement this one. Like I will start from, first I need to say, okay, I need my result. I keep adding it. This is the running total. So I will say maybe the result, maybe the total, but in the beginning it is 0. Then I need to keep adding this. Like I need to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 10. Okay, so I need like a counter repetition. So that's why I can say, okay, maybe the number will start from 1. Okay, then I need to go it up to until it is my number, which is 10 in this case. Okay, and what I'm doing is, okay, it was 0 and then 1. Then I need to add 2. I need to add 3. So at every step, I'm actually adding that current number, which is, in my case, it is number. So I will add it to my result value, which is, so I will say result is equal to result plus num. Okay. Then, okay, since this is a counter value, I need to also update the counter variable. Otherwise, it will be an infinite loop. So I need to also update it by 1. Then maybe I can print my result here. Like this. So when I do it, basically the result is 55. But let's first see how it is run. So for each iteration, actually, I would like to put one more print message just to see how this process is going. Okay, so I will use an f string in which I will say basically the number is, using a curly bracket, I would like to see the value of number, and also the result is, okay, again with a curly bracket, I would like to see the result. Oops, I ran it twice. Anyway, so here what is happening in each iteration. Result number is 1, result is 1. Number is 2, I just add 2 to the result. It is 3. Number is 3, I added 3 to the result. This is 6. I add 4, 10. I add 5, 15. Adding 16 makes it 21. Then I add 7, 28. I add 8 to 36. I add 9, 35. I add 10, it is 55. Okay? Is that understood? So just when you are studying this topic, please don't only read the slides. So reading slides is one, of course you should do it. Reading the textbook is also good. But then you need a hands-on experience to really learn it. how can you do it? Well, read it slides and also read it from the textbook. Then please close that and try to write it by yourself. Like from your head, how can I find the numbers from 1 to the summation of numbers from 1 to 50, 1 to 100? How can I do it? So this is one way. And then you can come up with your own examples, like your own formula. Okay, how can I find the average numbers, average of them? How can I find the maximum of them, minimum of them? So you can also come up with your own formula and then try to run it, okay? So in short, please don't just read the slides. It's almost never enough to learn programming. You should really need a hands-on experience. All right. Any questions so far? What is the mathematical formula of this? Like if you go to this, do you know it? What is the summation of n numbers? It's a sequence. Like what is the result of the first n numbers? From 1 to n, what is how can we find it? We can write a Python loop for that. Well, it's basically this, n times n plus 1 divided by 2. So when n is 10, 10 times 11 divided by 2, 10 times 11, 150. Divided by 2 is 55. Of course, you don't need to know it. This is not related to Python programming. But anyhow, even though but the thing that I'm trying to give is, if you don't know the formula, you can still implement it by using these Python. So you don't need this kind of shorthand formulas that you can easily calculate the results. You can just write a Python code and then find the result also. All right. Now this is like a quiz or midterm style question. So I would like you to answer this. Okay. Now let's look at the question. Complete this while loop to compare the sum of the squares of the first 10 numbers. So now instead of calculating 1 plus 2 plus 3, we'll calculate their squares. So 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 and so on. Okay. So we need to write a code for it. And here is some code that needs to be filled. So what I will do is, actually I will also write it here. So we have result here, we have numbers here. This part is empty there. This part is empty there. There is no print statement, so I will just remove it. And there is also this part is also empty there. And now we have this totally sum, basically the same. So here is the question. We would like to find their square. So 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 3, 4 to the power 4, and so on. Up to 100. Up to 10, sorry. Okay, what should I write for this part? Yes. So I need to repeat it up to 10. So this is my condition. That's it. Then what should I write here? So how I will update my value. So the result is the value that I would like to update. Result plus 1.
Minus 1.
So result is the value that will keep the summation. And the summation is the square roots of it, like 1 plus 2 plus 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 2, and so on.
Number power 2.
Is it number power 2? Okay, okay, number to the power 2. Is that enough? I need to do one more thing, I guess. Yes, with the plus sign. Otherwise, I'm not updating it. I'm just assigning it. So if I say result plus, for instance, then I will update it. Then what is this line should be? Yes, I need to update the number also at this point. Then, well, the result will be basically whatever it is. So for this example, I could also write it like with those short examples, like instead of result is saying result is equal to result plus so, I could also write it in this way. It would mean the same thing. And also for that one, instead of saying num plus 1, I would just put here, and it would also mean the same thing. As you can see, the results are same, 385, 385. And again, when you are studying this topic, please don't just read the slides. Again, try to write it by yourself. Otherwise, it will, it will be much more effective way of learning. Shall I proceed? How many minutes we have? Okay, we have 5 minutes. Good. And well, we can do many things with this logic actually. Like we find the total values. We can also find the average number. Like maybe I would like to calculate, ask the users, give me 10 different numbers, and then we would like to calculate its average. Well, how can it be? Well, maybe in a class, I'm getting all the scores, so I'm inputting them, and then I would like to find, okay, what is the average grade? Okay, I would like to find this. So how can I do it? Well, here is this example. But what is this average? First, we need to think about it. Like, if I know how to find the total values of some numbers, the average is just, if I divide it by the number of items that I input, then it will be the average. So I just need to first find the total value of those numbers, and then I will just divide how many numbers I entered. This will give me the average. But in this case, well, instead of having this number saying that, okay, starting from 1 to 10, take their total, the story is kind of a different. Every time we ask the user to provide us a new number. So that's why what we will do is, again, we have a counter to keep that we get exactly 10 numbers. And then we have a variable to keep the result. Just one comment. In the slide it says sum, but actually we shouldn't use sum as a variable name because sum is actually a Python built-in function name. So we shouldn't use that. But anyhow, ignoring that detail, so we'll keep our results in this variable, and then while count is less than 10, so we would like to get exactly 10 numbers. At each iteration, we will ask the user to provide a number. So that's why we have this input function, enter a new number, and then we convert it to integer because it returns us as a string. Then we keep it in this number variable, and then we add it to our result variable, which is sum variable here. We update our sum variable, and then we increment the count variable so that we will not be in an infinite loop. We will exit after 10 cases. Once this while loop finishes, what does this sum variable keeps? It is the total of the numbers that user provided. But if the question is saying, okay, how can we find an average? Well, to do that, I just need to divide the total value with the how many items that we entered, which is, in this case, it is 10. So that we divide it by 10, it will give us the average value of these 10 numbers. We can do it as one example for this. So let me go to here. I will just change this code actually a little bit. Instead of saying num, I would like to make it counter. Okay. So it will be for 10 times. And instead of adding the square of each number, it will be an input from the user that I will say, okay, from input function, I will say enter a number. So we will get an input from the user and convert it to integer, and then we will add it to our result. And this will be our total value. Maybe I would like to say total. That will be a better naming for it. And then let's print the average. So which is basically in average is basically total divided by 10, which is the numbers that we have. So when we run this code, again now, enter a number, I will enter some random numbers here. So the total is 229, and the average is basically just divided by 10, which is 22.9. So going over this code again, we keep the value here total, we use this counter, and then in a while loop we go up to 10. At each iteration we increment the counter by 1, but for that variable that we would like to keep to find the total, we always ask the user to input the value, we convert it to integer, and then we update our total score. And then at the end of this while loop we actually have the total value of these 10 numbers, but to find the average we just need to divide it by the number of items we entered, which is 10, so it will give us the average. Alright, it is 10:50, so I should stop here. This is the class for today. Thank you for your attendance.